We have a guy in here with a gun, and he's acting very, very weird. He did not point the gun, but he is yelling at everybody.
Hey, bro, what's going on? All right.
Here we go again. Another white police officer, black suspect, and the family being as disingenuous as humanly possible. There's a very common sense reason gold is pushing to all-time highs right now. Actually, there's several reasons. The cost of goods continues to rise despite interest rates controlled by the Fed. Since January 21st, cost of living is up 17.9%. The national debt continues to skyrocket, now above 34 trillion, causing many to worry when the house of cards will come crashing down. A presidential election year that will have massive implications on the future of this country. All of this adds up to the instability and uncertainty, and that is why so many Americans are turning to Birch Gold Group. Have you diversified your savings yet? Secure a portion of them with gold from Birch Gold. Text Brandon to 989898 and get your free info kit. You'll learn how to convert an existing IRA or a 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of happy customers, you can count on Birch Gold too. Just text Brandon to 989898 to claim your free info kit and to protect your savings from uncertainty today. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies. Here we go again, bro. Here we go again. Homeboy at the Foca de Chao. Can't even eat a steak dinner without black people acting a fool. And let me just say this. I want to preface this because I know I make my videos and I like a comic relief or whatever. And sometimes I say superfluous things, and it's because that's just how I feel at the time. I don't mean no harm by it. However, this is what I will say. This video is being made first and foremost for educational purposes. It's not to humiliate anybody or anything like that. It's for educational purposes on the law enforcement side and the civilian side. Second, I have family members that have mental health issues, that are incredibly violent, that incredibly fickle. One day they up, one day they down, one day they want to kill everybody, one day they don't. So I understand mental health because I have people in my family that are like that. Also, while I was a police officer, I had mental health training. It's called crisis intervention training. We got trained on how to diagnose, how to deal with, when I say diagnose, how to give a preliminary diagnosis, meaning we see somebody in the street, we go, okay, that person may be suffering from schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia, the bipolar disorder, whatever. We kind of understand a very baseline of how that person may react based on things that we have been trained on. So I understand that. I've talked probably 6 people out of suicide. I've been in physical altercations with violent people who had mental health issues. So I understand the scope of reality. Family, career, I've seen it all. They are claiming, the family's claiming that he had a mental health episode. But the thing that the family is lying about, and they won't be honest about, is the fact that he had a mental health episode, he had a gun, and he's at the bar. In the state of Arizona, I didn't even look up the law in this state, but in the state of Arizona, you cannot be in possession of a firearm at a bar. You cannot consume alcohol while having a firearm. All of those things are no-nos, but nor here nor there. The guy got a gun. He's at the bar. People are calling in.
We have a guy in here with a gun, and he's acting very, very weird. He did not point the gun, but he is yelling at everybody.
Because this guy's acting erratic, he's acting bizarre. Family admitted he's having a mental health crisis, and he has a gun in an establishment. Now, the most shocking part is that it took them 26 minutes to respond to this. And I guarantee you it's because they didn't want to make it a big deal, because you got a black man with a gun and the involvement of police, and people don't want to be responsible for his death. So they beat around the bush, probably didn't make it a significant issue, or the police department took forever to respond. A man with a gun in an establishment acting erratically is a level 2 response from TPD, maybe even a level 1, where we may respond code 3 lights and sirens. That's a serious, significant issue. If he start shooting up the place, then we up here at a traffic stop. We should have been responding. So let me play the video. We're going to watch it together. Obviously, I'm not at the studio, so I can't do the little thing. But I'm going to play the video. I'm going to give some commentary. Roll the clip.
Hey, bro, what's going on? All right. Bro. Stop! Put down the gun! Go! 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 Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on the head! Stop! 5-9 right away! 5-9 right away! Bro, what's going on? All right. Bro. Stop! Put down the gun! Go! 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 Put your hands on your fucking head! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on the fucking head! Stop it! Stop! 5-9 right away! 5-9 right away! Sixty-three shots fired. 63 shots fired.
So of course we can't show the whole thing. We'll show the whole thing on Tatum Plus because we don't want to get the video kicked off. So however, let me just explain this real quick. The first initial interaction, they made commands. The man is reported to have a gun. He is instantly passively resisting. It's called passive resistance, which means that when I come and tell you to do something and you do not do it, although you're not overtly acting and coming at me or trying to fight me, you're still passively resisting. You're saying, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. I'm not going to follow none of your directions. Hey. You can't do that. That's called passive resistance. And that is the use of force continuum where you get up to where you tase somebody. The person has a gun. The person is passive resisting. And then what's the next step? You got to they use officer presence as the first level. Then they use verbal commands. And then they're giving commands to a guy with a gun. And now he's passively resisting. He has become a threat. So they tased him. He goes down to the ground. They see the gun. So the initial report was that he had a gun. Once they tase him, because he's passively resisting, he's not cooperating, they see the gun. That cop could have shot him as soon as he got up to run. The cop could have shot him. He could have shot him. And the reason that the cop could have shot him as soon as he got up and ran is because he's not only being passive resistant, he's not only not listening to commands, he has a gun, and then he's acting erratic, and then he runs to the store. He's endangering other people. So the use of force policy and the use of deadly force policy is that if the person is a danger to you of serious bodily injury or death or to another person, you can utilize deadly force against that person. So this cop, in my opinion, had incredible restraint. The guy gets up, he runs. Thank God the security guy tackled him. Then while he's on the ground, he shoots the security guard. Wow, look at this video of them rendering aid to the security guard.
Stay with us, stay with us. Just stay right here. Stay right here. Stay right here.
He shoots the security guard. So not only do they show up, it's reported that he's acting erratic with the gun at a bar. He resists arrest. He runs. He shoots the security guard. So they have to return fire. And in the middle of returning fire, you don't get to say, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you good, bro? You quit? Are you going to shoot us or not? You shoot him until he's rendered incapable of using a firearm against you. So if he can still move his arms and his arms are still flailing, no matter what the situation is, you can still engage deadly force because your goal is to eliminate him as a threat, that you're eliminating the possibility that he can retaliate or use a gun to harm anybody else. He's already shot somebody. So people say, well, he stopped and then he shot him again. He executed him. No, he didn't. I bet you $1 million that every shot that he did was all center mass. And what probably happened is when he shot him a couple times, the guy didn't, it's not the movies, the guy dies. What he did was he probably was moving and he probably went for the gun or went near the gun. The guy had to make sure that he couldn't shoot anybody. Justified, man. Did he deserve it? That's up to God. Is it justified according to law? But listen to what mom and them have to say. His mom and them getting on TV, the attorneys getting on TV, and just telling a flat lie.
I could not save you.
A mother's pain.
That is one of my biggest regrets every day of my life.
And a father's regret.
If I was there, I would have been able to save him, man.
Maya and Quentin Cullins still steadfast in the fight for their son Nygil, the 22-year-old shot and killed at this Fogo de Chao 2 years ago. The federal lawsuit claims negligence, inadequate training, excessive and deadly force all contributed to the shooting. The family says Nygil was carrying a legal concealed gun at the time. He left home after a mental health episode, and several calls were made to get him help.
My son is in the apartment and he's going through his manic phase.
The gun is not visible. You can't see a gun. He's putting his hands up. He's going to the ground and then he's tased. Why was he encountered in such a way that escalated to the point of him being shot 10 times?
A release of the video won't bring their son back, but their hope is it'll spur change.
There won't be no closure. I can't. Till we get justice, till we see transparency, till policies get changed. Lifeless, arms dangling. That's not how you want to remember your son. His last moments, his last breath. And then you come 10 minutes later and try to resuscitate him? You take your time to resuscitate him? Like who want to see their child brutally murdered? Because that's what it was. They brutally murdered my child. He was a good kid. Yes, everybody, sure some of y'all, we deal with mental health issues, whether it's depression, whatever it is. He was battling some stuff. He didn't deserve it. He did not deserve it.
Now, I have compassion and understanding. I'm a father. I couldn't imagine this happening to my son, happening to my family member that I know that struggles with mental health issues. Like, I would be upset too, but I'm not gonna lie. If something happened to one of my family members that I know is struggling with, and I know they're violent, and every day I hope that they don't get into an interaction with a police officer because they may lose their life. But if they do, then, I'm gonna look at the video and I'm gonna give a fair evaluation. I may not make a video if it's my family member. I may not be able to do that. I can do that to other people's family members. I don't have no connection to it. I can impartially make a statement. But with my own family member, it may be too heartbreaking for me to watch the video. I'm just being honest. But if I did, I'm not gonna lie. They shouldn't have. I'm like, he had a gun. What are they supposed to do? I would like for it to go a different way, but I wasn't there. And after you shoot somebody, bro, the cop gotta retaliate. I want to say retaliate. They gotta use force against you to prevent you killing somebody else, or killing somebody or hurting somebody else. But the part that bothers me the most is the parents. You know your kid crazy. You know he going through something. They like, we were just calling on that day to get him help. So you knew he was crazy when he did. So you knew what the cops were dealing with. But then y'all get on TV and file for a wrongful death lawsuit. You don't get to do that. And then they probably reward him because he's black. You don't get to have a violent criminal shoot somebody and then they shoot him and they call it wrongful death. What were they supposed to do with the guy? The parents are acting like he didn't have a gun. We know what we saw. He shot somebody. They had to render aid to the cop. What are y'all saying? And if I'm wrong, I'll come out and make another video. If the cops ended up shooting him, I'll make another video. But what I see is that they telling him he had a gun. He's running with a gun. He gets tackled. I hear pop, pop. And then I hear pop, 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 pop. That means that it was pop, pop. Then somebody was shooting at them and they returned fire. That's the consistency of what I see. But here we go again. Benjamin Crump gonna be down there soon, making a press conference, completely lying and being disingenuous because they need to make money. They don't care about the justice of these kids. It's very sad and unfortunate that this happened to this young man, but at the same time, kids, what are y'all doing? It's not an excuse anymore to say, I was scared, that's why I ran. Well, if black people running and they end up getting shot, and you would think that if you were scared, you wouldn't run because you wouldn't want to end up like that. Fear say, I need to comply or I'm gonna die. Fear don't say, I need to put myself in a worse situation possible because I'm afraid of complying and going to jail. I'd rather die in a high-speed chase or in some altercation with a police officer. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Anyway, I didn't say it enough. We played all the videos. What do you guys think? Was this justified or not? I say it's justified 100 out of 100 times. When you got a man, you made commands, you escalated force with verbal commands, taser, chased him, tried to subdue him physically, soft hand control, hard hand control, and then you go up to the point where you shoot somebody and then you utilize deadly force. Case closed. There ain't nothing else to add to it. I love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out of here.